Okay. Okay, all right, the Jim on, all right, very good. Well, good morning. Sorry for the delay again, the Zoom delay. I guess, Sharon, is it something we can, I know in the past, come up with a system that, I guess, what is the issue we're having? I guess there's something that in terms of the link.
Gordon, we share, you'll have to blame it on Sharon and I. We did this, I don't even know what the word is. We did this configured Zoom a different way for the council meeting, and that's kind of been the mess up this morning, but Sharon's smart enough to figure it out
Yeah,
for next
great,
time.
Great,
Well,
fantastic,
I'm glad you're all
Well,
here.
very good. I know last year it was so seamless going in, you didn't have to ask, so great. Well, you're right.
We have a
good
quorum,
morning.
so
Pardon
Okay.
me? We have
we
a
do have a
quorum.
quorum.
Very
So,
good. Well, good morning. Thank you. Let's start the meeting. I guess we'll start off with the approval of the minutes. Has everyone had a chance to look at the minutes? Any changes or additions that we should have? If there's not, do I hear a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Say all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right. Motion approved. Thank you. Let's just go right into the discussion items. Again, Doug, marketing updates. I know you have a lot to talk about. Doug, you're on.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Hey, good to see everybody. Nice cool day up there in Sky Valley, I see. Hey, yeah, got a lot going on. Certainly the big thing coming up next month. But some of the recap, as I sent y'all yesterday, what we've been doing, continuing to push social media, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn about Sky Valley.
Yeah, I know.
Working on an ad for Facebook that goes out to about 8,000 people a day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
It's very inexpensive. And so we're working on that. I'm actually talking to a person today about upgrading and doing more stuff on social media. So I think that's going to be exciting. I can probably tell you more about that later. Talked to one of my media people down in Florida, and we're working on a couple of magazine articles for the summer. Again, this message, you know, when it's hot here in Georgia, when it's hot in Florida and Georgia, and then talk about how cool it is in Sky Valley. So we're excited about that. And part of that is going to be on some real estate publications. So we're trying to push that a lot. And so excited about what's going on there. Again, you remember you have to, especially when you're getting free stuff, you go with what they do. If we want to pay for something, then yeah, then we can say, okay, we like this and we'll do this. But they try to work us in. Certainly, like I've told you, we've got a lot of great media people, 4 of them who you'll meet. And so they're very, very helpful. So excited about stuff like that. And if we took everything we did from January to December, as I've mentioned before, it would be tens of thousands of dollars that we would spend. So very excited about how we're continuing to grow, how we're getting the message out, how we're getting other people like these gentlemen coming that have heard of Sky Valley because of what we've done. And then we want to make sure we get them to Sky Valley. So, so if you saw the TV show that's coming out this Saturday on A Fork in the Road, this is something we did last October. It is a friend of mine, David Selsky, who used to do the Georgia Traveler on Georgia Public Broadcasting. And we did a 30-minute show on the Georgia Golf Trail. And it was a huge hit for them. Very informative, very funny between David and I. And so David does quite a few things, and he has started a new project called A Fork in the Road, as I mentioned, that is sponsored by Georgia Agriculture or Georgia Grown. And he's been doing this now for a couple of years. So he asked me last year if I would like to start doing something every year with them, as long as he continues to get paid from agriculture. And so we came up with some stuff. So I think it's really well done. It's exciting. It will be out Saturday, and you certainly don't have to worry about it. I'm going to send you the link next week to see the whole show. But it's Saturday at 12, and then next Friday at 7 on Georgia Public Broadcasting. I don't know what y'all get up there. And then it will continue to run during the year. So you will just happen to flip through and see Georgia Public Broadcasting. And it's called the Georgia Grown Golf Trail. So we're excited, and we're going to get, I don't have a clue how many people will watch this show over any given time. But on the bottom of that, just like I did this week, we sent out the trailer to a lot of people, a lot of VIP people, and media people. And then next week I will do the same thing, but send out the whole 24 minutes, and that will go out to quite a few people. Plus we are going to do an email blast on that as well, so people can just, Georgia Golf Trail, what's that, and so we get some interested people about that. So
What was the second date for the viewing?
yeah, it's the 5th, Sharon, at 7 o'clock. So
Okay, thank you.
and that's the only two that they'll probably tell you. You'd have to check. Then it'll be on their website. It'll be on David's website. It'll be on our website. It will be on YouTube. So that's, once you get something like this, what trust me, this is, for David to do this costs him tens of thousands of dollars per episode. So this is what agriculture is paying for. Certainly TV is a big market, and it costs a lot. So just to be a part of something like this for one show, we want to make sure we take advantage of this. So we will continue to send out stuff during the year about the show, remind people what Georgia is, what we're doing here in Georgia. And we're excited that David has invited us back for another show for next year if all goes well. And he was very excited about the show, and certainly it falls in David's lap. He's got to keep everybody happy and excited, and so he again was very excited. So I look forward to hearing more stuff, and I have a good relationship with the Department of Agriculture and the new commissioner, Tyler Harper. So we're going to do some more stuff. So we'll know more about some more TV stuff later, but in order to do this, this is, again, this is why y'all have me, is my connections and people that I've done over the years that continue to want to help us do things and do it at a low budget. And very, very, I can't tell you how excited I am about this TV show coming out. It's funny. It's, like I said, it's funny. It's informative. I'm playing golf with the different pros. I play with David at one of the other golf courses, and just promote just different things across Georgia. So, all right, let's get into the big media trip coming up next month. Again, let me just recap on what we're doing. This is things, and I certainly have brought people up there before. As I've told you, I think that is the biggest, most productive thing that we can do, is to get these guys or ladies who have been there to come and see it, feel it, touch it, whatever it is, and then they remember, and then if they're asked questions, they can really expand on it. So trying to get 4 people to come 1 week, because they're coming all week to see different things here in Georgia. It's a hard task. So we worked months in advance to do this. When I was down in Orlando in January, I was trying to finalize everything with these 4 gentlemen. And we don't just pick out anybody. We go to a region or country like the United States, and I'll explain that in a minute, who have continuing big followings, have magazines or radio shows or travel companies or whatever. And so we invite them. So we got them all together. And I am going to skip down to kind of explain who they are. So,
Great.
We're going after a new region, never done this one before, but we're going after the Philadelphia, South Jersey, North Delaware regions. And reason for that is we get a lot of people, as y'all well know, that come south on I-95 or 85. And we need for these people to know about Georgia. So we're inviting Joe Burkhart from Tri-State Golfer Magazine, who I've known for years. Great guy. He has asked me many times, when can I come down to Georgia? And he has a great readership. You can read about it with what I sent you yesterday, in excess of 180,000 people. He really gets the word out, and we realize that Mid-Atlantic is a great region for us. Just over the years, we've concentrated on other things. Second gentleman is coming is Joey Johnson. He is the publisher of Southern Fairways magazine, and they also have a radio show with his partner Randy Bergen every week. Southern Fairways Radio live show. They're out of Mobile, Alabama. So it is great now that we have a media partner on the east side of the Southeast. I've certainly mentioned Joey before, and he's done some articles on Sky Valley in the past, but they came on board with us last year. So just got out a new magazine yesterday. So anything, even though it's not related to Sky Valley, if we can promote people about the Georgia Golf Trail and get them to the website, and then let them find out about Sky Valley, it's just fantastic. So Joey's a great guy. Talked with him long and hard at the PGA show there in Orlando, and he's all on board about helping us and doing what all he can for us. And we're doing many things. I'm gonna skip down and talk about Mike May, Indiana Golf Journal. It's a monthly digital consumer magazine, and the Midwest, Fred Altivator, who was there, and his wife and 2 grandsons last year, is part of this organization. So Ohio, Michigan, and Indiana. But Mike is the editorial. He's the editor, and but Mike also he works a lot with me. Okay, so he's kind of becoming my right-hand man. And he does a lot of other writing for other magazines, Golf Central, Midwest Golfing Magazine, East Southern Golf, Under Par Golf Media, New England Golf. So Mike has a lot of connections, and I mean a lot of connections. He also works with the LPGA Tour. So this brings in a lot of things for him when he's out on the trail. He's actually in LA this week with the LPGA Tour doing stuff with them. So this just helps us connect with what we're doing. The biggest gentleman who will be coming, who we work with on a monthly basis is Brian Weiss. Brian is the owner of a company called Golf Trips, and he is all over the country, all over the world. Okay, so he puts out his information about golf trips, and then you can go and look and see golftrips.com/golf trail/Georgia Golf Trail. But we work with Brian on our travel company, and we get stuff weekly from Brian on inquiries that people want to come to Georgia. Sky Valley is certainly a part of that. And he does so much. He will be able to really put a lot of stuff after they leave about Sky Valley. And he's the kind of person that coming, seeing, because he goes all over the world. I mean, that's his job to find out more about stuff. So he is constantly all over the United States. We had to wait for him to have an open week. So it's basically, we moved everything around Brian's schedule. I had talked to him a couple of times, and I saw him again in January at the show, and said, "Hey, we got to have you, and let's work it out. I want to come to Georgia." So we're getting him here. So I'm very excited about all four of these gentlemen coming. They represent different regions. And as I've said, we won't be able to do anything more than this 24-hour period that will help us do more marketing, promotion, public relations, whatever, than this one day. So we want to make sure this day is special. Y'all done a great job in putting together a itinerary that I think Gordon's going to go over here next, if I saw that in the notes. So very excited. I know they will be. It's just one of those things, again, that y'all have such a unique, wonderful community, not just the golf course, but the whole community, what y'all do. I'm excited to show him everything that y'all have. So I know they'll be looking forward to doing the tour. I will be with them all week. We're stopping off. First stop is at Bridgestone to see their plant down in Covington, and let these guys hit some balls and find out which Bridgestone golf ball and is best for them. And then we're just going to wander our way up through North Georgia, because it's tough to do. I mean, it's just try to get these guys, and you want them to see as much of Georgia as you can, but you just don't have enough time or money or whatever. So now these type trips do fall. I do have to pay, some out-of-pocket stuff that before it comes with you guys. You help pay me, so I'm bringing these guys in and excited. Two of them's got to fly in, so we got to take care of travel, and then a rental bus almost, and some other things, but that's just part of it. And again, I can't even tell you how excited I am for them coming, and hopefully the weather will be okay and we will go from there. So certainly I always love coming up and staying at Sky Valley. So thanks again to Bill for the donation of his 2 cottages. Thanks for you guys putting together something and paying for this stuff. So that's all I can say. And then afterwards I will finish on this. They will come back and tell me, because I will certainly stay on their cases about, okay, what you gonna do for us now? And so each one of them, I will have them write it up and tell me what they can do for them, for you guys. And I will let y'all know. And again, it'll be timing and through whatever. But again, they will be there. They will, continue to talk to people, continue to see this wonderful community and what we're building here in Georgia. So very excited about that. So I'm actually final note, and I'll shut up. I'm actually got a meeting with the governor's office on Tuesday. And we're going to talk about what we're doing. The governor is very much behind what we're doing. And certainly, as I've told you, I have to work with the legislature to help remind them that, we need as much money as we can to put into tourism here into Georgia, and not just golf, but what all there is to see and do here in Georgia, come live, that type stuff. So I'm excited about that meeting on Tuesday. His schedule, their office schedule is always very busy, as I'm sure you will know. So that's it. So from me, Gordon, so your turn. Thank
Very
you.
good. Thank you, Doug. And as we go into this, as you look at the timeline agenda, do you have any items, or as you look at it, changes as before we get into it, or things that we should emphasize, in terms of, giving Sky Valley the best impression?
Is the new Welcome Center going to be open?
It is
Yes.
open.
It is open. Okay. When are we having are y'all having not me. When are y'all having a grand opening, or is that still scheduled, or trying to schedule something?
That March, is it May 26th,
Okay.
Sharon?
Yes.
It's the Friday of the Memorial Day weekend.
Mhm.
Okay. Thank you. Because I would like to come up, and I've asked Steve if he'll come up and help me, see everything. Certainly we would like, which is not on here, I would like for us to stop there first. And almost since it's on the way up, and just come in and see everything. So I probably will not be at Sky Valley before the 18th. We would like to stop in there just for a few minutes. Don't have to have anybody, can just say hey to whoever's there and let them look around so they can kind of get an idea. Okay, y'all, here you go. We've got our own big, nice welcome center. I will explain to them about Highlands and what that is up the road, and what people go up up to North Carolina, and then come on down. So we will be leaving, we'll have about an hour drive. So I think we talked about this the other day, and we should get there in plenty of time. Just stop by for a few minutes. So that's the only other thing. Everything else looks great, because I know we've been over it before. Some of these things I'm sure y'all are trying to figure out who's going to do what. Certainly the tour, that's what we want to emphasize most. We want them to see what Sky Valley has to offer, besides 18 holes. So they will love the 18 holes, I have no doubt. So we want to see everything else, including the food and beverage, that's been scheduled here to meet. Some of y'all meet some people on Thursday night there. See, accommodations that people can come up and do. And we just want to make it a very special day. So whatever y'all can do would be great. I am trying to get with Mike, who's helped me coordinate all this stuff. So in terms of sizes, we've kind of guessed some like shirt sizes. So I want to make sure we get those right. And I'll get that back to everybody as soon as possible. So again, thank you from us, but anytime I can get somebody at Sky Valley is a huge thing for me. So and I'm sure we could do this every month. I have no problem. I'm sure plenty of media people, if I said, hey, I want to bring you to Georgia, we're going to take you up to a piece of heaven up in North Georgia. And I guarantee you I would have them standing in line. So, but we have to work it out. We will try to, certainly we're going to bring some more people during the year, but not like this. So this is big.
Again, thanks, Doug.
Thank
Let's
you.
go into the again, the brief outline, what we talked about, the draft timeline, we're talking about coming in at 10 o'clock and the media arriving in Sky Valley at the Pro Shop. And one of the things we're doing at 10:30, we take a tour, and during that tour, we would stop by Doug and at this point and do the in terms of visitor center. So that'll be part of what we're discussing. So
Okay,
at 10 a.m., again, if you come in, meet at the Pro Shop, and this could change. Again, it's an itinerary subject to change. If they met at 10 o'clock, the question I have now, the Pro Shop, you will be there at that time. Doug, you're gonna see the number of people here
yes,
when you.
I mean, I'm with them all week, so I'm,
Okay, got it.
here's what, think about this. So there'll be 5 of us. I do not need to go on a tour. But we will have, don't know what yet, but we're probably getting a big SUV to carry, because they don't have clubs and bags. And so so that'd be 4. And if one person's in the car telling them where to go, that's fine. If you need to have 2, I mean, my car's certainly going to be there, and I can certainly help drive around, but we'd probably need maybe somebody else in there telling them more about what to do and where to go. And also, and I don't know what all you've done either. I know a couple of y'all have, and I don't know everybody's home, but I've certainly seen some pictures. If we could see, some homes, not some homes, but one home that has a, beautiful view looking out over the mountains, so they can see this type stuff. And hey, we want y'all to come up and, buy a lot, build, buy a house, whatever. If that can be, that would be fantastic. If we can work something like that out. 5-10 minutes. We're not getting out, taking
Right.
whatever, just so they can kind of see, hey, I want you to see this, get out. Let's go around. We're not going in the house, just, go around, or however you can get to the deck, and just let them see the views, that type of stuff.
Right. So the timeline at 10 o'clock, they meet, and I can be there. Is anyone else I would like to be there at this time? Show them, and, check them into their condos. Does anyone else like to be there initially? And then I thought from 10 o'clock, then 10:30, we meet back at the Pro Shop, and then start the tour. And we'll talk about that. Does anyone else want to be involved? Howard, the initial reception at 10 o'clock.
Well, Gordon, we can be involved however you would like us to. And so just tell us who you want there or whatever, and we can be there. Getting the shirt sizes and that type thing will be important. But I can have different people take them on a tour. If you want us to try to line up a house, we could probably do that. We may, I think we have some, some nice vistas we can show them real quick going around Sky Valley. So whatever we need to do, we'll help.
Great.
Now, Gordon, do you know if Bill Thies is going to be there to check them in, or how? I'm
No,
not sure how that process works.
The last time Howard did it, I could do it this time. Let me make the arrangements with Bill and have the codes. He typically has electronics. And I'll make the final arrangements to be there and then show them. I'll be there, where it is at this time from 10 to 10:30, have them check in. So I'll take care of that arrangement with Bill. If Bill is there, that's wonderful, but I'll handle that. So the codes, I think, I did it last time, but I could do that. So I'll make the arrangement in terms of Bill, codes, the access to the condo. Then we
Okay.
get back at 10:30.
I can also be there, Gordon, if you would like me to.
I
can
like
be
that.
there to help welcome.
That would be wonderful. We had someone from the Pro Shop, that would be great. Yes. As many that can come, I think having a little gathering is great, having the Southern hospitality for the first
Well, I
time.
hope that's a very long time, and we certainly will miss you up here.
Jim, I
I
think Debbie's on the phone and we're getting her.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
So we can discuss that.
Gordon?
but- Yes,
Gordon, one thing is, I have committed, to Bill Thies. He's been very nice to us as far as taking rental property out of rent so that
Yes.
he can provide this. I told him we would reimburse him for his out-of-pocket, his cleaning fee. And I think we need to do that because he does, besides taking the rental property out of service, he'll have an out-of-pocket for the maid to come and clean and everything. And I think we, either the marketing committee or the club, should reimburse him for that.
I agree with you, Howard, and I discussed that with him. He said, well, we can discuss that. He was, very humble, didn't want to. And I says, that's something we should do. We have that in the budget, that kind of money. Yes, in terms of cleaning service. I totally agree with you with that. Yes.
Right. When I talked to him, I think he's so nice, but
Yes.
we've used him a number of times now. So I think that's fair. And if we do that, that'll be great.
Yes, I agree with you, Howard, on that. Yes, yes. So in terms of the number, be there 10 o'clock, 10:30, we read back at the media tour will start, going back to the pro shop. At this point, we discuss in itinerary, who would like to do that? Jim has done that in the past. He'll be out of town. So suggested we have one person that obviously knows Sky Valley and is a good communicator and got that mountain friendliness. Suggestion, I know I talked to you, Holly, on it. Do we have anyone from the city or to anyone, Howard, or anyone that some can do the things? And the second part would be, what would the tour sites be? And as Doug was talking about a home, I certainly think the visitor center, we want to get down there. And we got an hour and a half or so to do things. And other areas we want to do things to see. Jim, you've had, I think, the other things in the area such as the, what do you have, that lift island out just outside of Sky Valley, fishing, whatever it is. Jim, maybe you could discuss just a little bit things that you felt were helpful.
I think I concentrated on 3 themes. Let's see if I can remember what they all are. One thing I wanted them to understand is that we had a functioning city government and that did a lot of things. And so I would point out some of the projects and accomplishments. That might be too much this time. We've got a lot of cool stuff.
Right. That's right, Jim.
I think we may have hit the waterfall.
Yes.
We went up. We did the grand tour up Alex Mountain on Alex Mountain Road and then down the backside so that they could see a bunch of houses, and housing was another theme. And then my third theme was outdoor living and all the other stuff you get to do in Sky Valley and in the larger area that we live in. So basically, the city, the housing market and the houses, and the outdoor living theme.
Hey, just a note, I don't know what y'all's relationship is with Rayburn. I would think it's probably pretty good. So if they want to piggyback with something, put in a brochure, or because certainly we want them to know what all there is to do up here in North Georgia. So somebody might contact the people down there and just, hey, we have a great media coming up here, and we don't want them a part of it, but if they would like to help donate something, help whatever, I think that would be, certainly y'all can, say, hey, we're helping you guys by doing this. And they will, once we get through and I get to all these guys and I'll talk to each one of them individually, I will tell them what to write. Okay. So I'm going to make sure we're all on the same page and point out, hey, this is what we have. And, and oh, by the way, we have a beautiful golf course. So we certainly, promote that a lot, but we want to promote everything else. So
Doug,
yes,
Doug,
ma'am.
we have a television kiosk already installed in the new visitor center
Yes,
that
ma'am.
has a touch screen on it where you can go to all the different things in Sky Valley and Rabun County, like restaurants, fishing, golf, hotels, everything, hiking trails.
Right.
So we do have that already installed in the visitor center.
Okay, then I would think when we stop there, so we're gonna go to the club first, and we're gonna go back down to the visitor center. So somebody needs to point that out, whoever's the tour master needs to take them over there and say, hey, let me show you what all we have around here.
Well, as soon as you walk in, you see Sharon's pretty face and she will take it from there.
There you go, Sharon.
I'll do my best.
Okay, good. So housing, do we have a suggestion, Mayor, who we possibly have from the POA or a representative that could, conduct a tour?
Well, you could ask Trudy Evans there, who's with us this morning.
I saw that. I'm like, who? What? Somebody new. Don't look like Trudy.
I think Bruce and Tom Smith would be good candidates for that.
Tom Smith was, I think, one of the houses that we took pictures from for his view. We have a bunch of houses that are gorgeous and the views are gorgeous. So what do you think, Bruce and Trudy and Paul?
Trudy.
You could talk with Grace, who's the POA president, and come up with some suggestions.
Sure,
Okay.
absolutely.
Great. And then we can tweak once we have that down in terms of the tour locations and so forth, so we have a timeline, and great.
Let me
Tom's
ask something
house.
on the itinerary. It seems like these people will be coming from the Atlanta direction. Would it make more sense to go to the visitor center first? They can do the kiosk and, get a lay of the land,
Yeah.
then go to the pro shop, rather than go to the pro shop, go back down the mountain to come back up the mountain to do a tour. That we start off at the visitor center. That's the
Right.
intro. You get a look at the land, you get to see everything. And then the idea to me is when you go, if you're going to do Alex Mountain, which is a nice vista from there, you got like Milt Gillespie's house or whatever has a beautiful view. We could probably get Milt to open up his deck for people. But I'm trying to think, so it's a continuous flow. So you go to
Yeah.
the visitor center,
Yeah.
you go to the pro shop, and then you're in the city and you go around to the vistas and the houses and that type thing.
Yeah, Howard, David and Vicky Carter's house is up there too, and that certainly has a vista of that's wonderful. So yeah, I think that's a great idea.
So in meeting, you would rather, I know we have the ski area just outside, you want to meet there first. Okay, so how would the timeline be in terms of check-in? In terms of going into the condos and so forth. So you would say meet 10 o'clock at the visitor center? Is that what I'm
Correct.
hearing?
Hey, let me throw out something. I'm not, what time is this thing at nighttime, Howard? 5:30? Okay.
Yeah, 5:30. So, it could be 5:30. It's a buffet, so it can be staggered. So, 5:30 would probably be the earliest. I would think you'd want to be there probably at 6:30, cocktails at 6 o'clock or something like that. But
Okay.
we can morph that back and forth however you want. And I'll ask, with Roberta what she thinks, but I think the great deal of your population would be there no earlier than 5:30, but 5:30, 6:30, so that they can mix and mingle and then have dinner.
Just a suggestion,
Sure.
you could wait and not worry about check-in until after they get through with golf. So, I mean, it's not like you gotta go 30 minutes to ride somewhere. And I've probably been to these condos, but again, since the GPS doesn't work for my AT&T phone, so I have to have it all written down or I will not figure it out, but I'm sure, I'm sure after golf or whatever, they can just go in, change, and then all of us come back down at 6:30. So, I mean, we won't linger around on the golf course. I will not be playing still because of my back, but we'll make sure these guys see everything during it. So that's just a suggestion. I don't think we're gonna have to worry too much about time. I just want them to see everything That's more important than playing golf and whatever. Certainly want to play golf. Just want them to see everything and do everything as they can.
Can I make a suggestion? Since Doug, you're gonna be bringing them in and coming up the mountain, instead of having a big contingency, meeting them at the Welcome Center, if you could take them into the Welcome Center, we have city employees there who are familiar with the Welcome Center and the initial welcome. Sharon will be there and that can go through the kiosk. They can get the general feel of the Welcome Center. And then after doing that tour, since it makes logical sense to start there. And then once you've done the visitor center, then you come up to Sky Valley and we will meet them at the pro shop around 10:15 or so. Welcome them to Sky Valley, to the country club area and then conduct a tour from there. So instead of having everyone go to the Welcome Center, meet you, bring everybody up to Sky Valley and that, allow the city to have its first shot with its Welcome Center and that and show them around and then bring them to Sky Valley and then we'll meet them there.
Sounds good to me.
Good.
Easy
I'm okay with
enough.
So we're saying.
And I bet you, oh, I'm sorry, Gordon. I'm just saying, you could spend 10 minutes looking at the videos and stuff. So maybe 15 minutes at the visitor center would
Okay.
just fit in very naturally because
Right.
they're interested.
Right.
Hey, we can get up. I mean, we're gonna be over at Brasstown, so we can get up and leave as early as we want to. So we might have breakfast and then head on over. But it's only an hour from been there, done both of those. So it's easy to get up there. So we can get there earlier. It doesn't matter. They're gonna do whatever I tell them to do.
So I hear you. So I hear you. I hear you at 10 o'clock. We said 10 o'clock, meet at the visitor center. And then if I hear you correctly on it, Roberta, 10:30, they would meet at the pro shop for the start the tour. Is that what we're-
I was suggesting more if you wanted to just have Doug bring them by, leave whenever they want to, go to the visitor center and still meet at Sky Valley at 10. And we can get them checked in or do whatever they need to do. We can talk to them about what's going to go on in the tour. And then
Yeah.
leave for the tour about 10:30. It's kind of keeping the same schedule that we had
I
and
like
just
that.
doing the visitor center before they get there.
Okay, I like that comments. So in terms of the, I guess at this time, the city visitor center being ready at, I guess it would have to be there at 9:30 or so.
We can get there at 9:30.
Okay,
God willing. Surprise.
so they'll give us enough time and then the media arrives and, okay, great. I like it. Any comments? So keep the original schedule, they'll meeting at 9:30 at the visitor center. And Holly, I assume you will be there and our wonderful mayor.
Yes, I have a special costume in mind.
I was going to say, I bet she's got some hat, and big ribbon to
Golly.
put her. I said, I am the mayor.
Yeah,
Right.
it's gonna be a surprise, Doug.
He
Okay.
has a sash,
I'll have a sash. Yeah,
a
that's it.
sash and a hat.
What date are we talking about, y'all?
May 18th, it's a Thursday.
Okay, got it. I'll be there.
I got talking to
What
see.
time do they play? What time do they start playing golf?
Not till about 1:30 is what they're
Oh,
planning.
okay, all right. Is
So
there
we're
a lunch?
looking at,
Is there a lunch planned? Or are they just gonna eat
yes,
at the
let's go
turn
into
or?
it. Yes, let's go into it. Looking at the agenda there, say at 10:30, you have the media tour, and then we're saying we'll finalize the things we want to do, and then the 12 noon will be the lunch. And they'll be providing, I guess that gets into, the club will provide that, possibly tell us where they should meet and so forth. What would be the line on that? Roberta, I guess you were gonna handle that.
I'm assuming we'll meet back at the club at noon.
Yes,
Howard had
Yeah.
said something about he wanted them to sit outside and, have
Yeah.
lunch there and
We can do that. I'll talk to Chris, the manager, about lunch on the patio, weather permitting.
absolutely. I
great.
just want them to see everything. I mean, enjoy and take in and I tell you, there's not much better sitting on that back deck out there having lunch, looking at the golf course and the mountains and lake. I mean, that's wow.
What,
That's a sales
Gordon,
point.
we'll need just a number of people. Obviously, we'll have the 4 guests. People have played golf with them. Doug,
Thank you.
and, but what we'd like to do, I think, Roberta, we want to make sure we reserve the primo seats, on the patio.
Okay.
And Chris would have it staffed because of, a lot of times during that lunchtime, they just do the corner. So we
Right.
want to make sure that staff to have a reserved seating out there and know how many people are going to attend lunch with everybody.
Will do.
The contact
this-
on that will be Roberta, and we'll get the final details, numbers, and be outside, preferably outside, weather permitting.
Right. I need to know how many people we're gonna have if the resident golfers will be included in that, which I think would be a good thing to do. And then if anyone else wants to join, Howard, you, Gordon, or what?
Yes. Okay. Excellent.
Yeah, is this dinner in the regular room, Howard? Are you all going to the club room? Because that's Thursday, yeah, go ahead. Excuse
The
me.
dinner would be in the main clubhouse.
Okay,
So the buffet is set up in there. The big bar would be open. So we'd serve out of the big bar and then they can, enjoy cocktails, meet some of the members, and then they would have a seating in the regular clubhouse. And
okay.
you can decide, and Roberta can figure out if we reserve seats for them or they just, sit and meet, other people, however we do that. But should be plenty of room for them. And it should be a nice social interchange. And I don't know, are they going to come directly from playing golf? Are they going to go freshen up and come back? Because we just need to make sure the timing is right as far as when we will expect them.
Well, if we move cocktails to around 6 and meet them, that gives them more time to be able to go back to their condos and freshen up. If we play at 1:30,
What they do, I would think that's what they'd want to do is just,
I do too.
they've been traveling all
Yes.
morning and all day. And this way they can freshen, we
Right.
plan on them being there at 6 o'clock or something like that.
Isn't this is this a Thirsty Thursday and a
Yes.
couples cards night?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
There'll be plenty of people there.
that's good.
Yes.
Hey,
So next-
and one note too, what y'all are planning is fantastic. And certainly getting the intermingling before, because one guy that I brought a few years ago, Dave Dalbert, I think he enjoyed playing golf with some of the members more than anything he did. And he kept, mentioning it because people just talk. So we want to make sure, I don't want these 4 guys just huddling together, drinking and eating and whatever. So anything we can do from y'all's side to make sure people meet them and talk to them, go sit by those people. Don't come over here and sit by me, go talk to them. And
Yeah.
so anything like that y'all can say, hey, not that we're going to have reserved seats or anything like that, but those type of stuff, I think they get a lot of valuable information on why'd you come up here? Why'd you move here? What do you do here?
I remember the comments when they had tapas and they had Fred Elpater and his family. They really mixed together. They loved it. They really got the feel, what's so special about Sky Valley, and the people are one of the major reasons for it. And this mingling is something we want. I agree with you. So 6 o'clock would be the buffet, meet or about that time. I agree, meet and greet, Howard, mix it together, encouraging that. Back to the golf play, we're talking about 1:30. How do we get it together in terms of we get our residents players too? How do you want to work that? So they're not together. I guess that, can you work that out? Something where each media would be playing possibly with a current member of the club, or
Well, that, I was gonna ask Doug, how did he want to do it? Do you want to have 4 groups and have, Sky Valley club member playing with one of the media individuals?
I think that would probably be a great goal. I don't want to, just take somebody's afternoon well, I don't really want to do this, but yeah, in terms of whatever, it would be great to get these guys separated so they can again talk to more people, enjoy it can still be, if you got a group of 4, you could split them up. You could have just 2 people from Sky Valley and two media people. And the next group, you have 2 people and 2 people. And then I'm just going to drive around with them and have fun. So I can certainly, talk to all of them about what's going on. And the back end of that, if times are slowing down, I'll speed them up. Like, okay, we got to go, let's get on to the next hole or whatever. So we don't want to mess up the evening plans, but that's whatever works. I just don't want y'all to have to worry, hey, we got to get,
Okay, well, I don't think there's going to be any problem with getting 4 volunteers to do that.
Okay.
I've got 2. Harry Collins offered immediately and said that he would like to do that, go with one of them.
Harry,
My husband Ken would love to go and do that. So I have no problem finding 2 more.
okay.
great.
I mean, Bruce is on the phone. He may be interested in doing that. He's a good ambassador for Sky Valley.
Bruce
And
is
he's a golf player, and he doesn't play on Thursdays.
Bruce is in Italy.
Oh, that's right.
No,
Bruce won't be there.
Bruce is in Israel.
Israel, okay. But I know I can get 2 more without any problem. So I
Right.
will just make arrangements to get 2 more volunteers. Howard, you may have some suggestions also.
Yeah, we can get, one thing, Roberta, you probably want to do is talk to Steve Hare and make
will.
sure we reserve some tea times.
I
so that
will.
He keeps those. Nothing should be booked at this point in time, but we're going to be within that 2-week period pretty quickly.
Right, yes. I will be there in Sky Valley next Tuesday. So I will get with him probably Wednesday and start laying the groundwork for all of this to make sure we have tea times and that.
Good.
Very good. Any additional comments in terms of the 18th? And on the 19th, the media.
Wait a minute. I have one more thing. We also, I want to bring this up to the marketing committee because once again, it has to do with costs and the club is providing meals, both lunch and dinner and the golf. And so we talked about it in our meeting, board meeting, and somewhat, and I'm suggesting that the marketing committee perhaps would contribute $25 per person to offset some of the cost of the meals.
Yes, we'd be talking about that. We could discuss it at this point. I agree, and I wanted to propose that and see if there was a motion that you brought it up. $25 per person is a very nominal amount to try to offset some of the costs, and that's something we were addressing. And the other issue would be in terms of Bill Theis, in terms of the cost of cleaning, which I don't think would be over possibly $70 to $100, maybe $200. So I'd like to hear a motion, if we could, from someone, one of the members, of a proposal that we, in the club, we offset the club by reimbursing them $100 for meal expenses.
Well, actually, it'd be 125 with 5 because we have Doug and the 4 media people.
Okay, so 125, yes. In this case, we do have that amount that's in the media amounts, and we put into a media visit to Sky Valley. We had $1,500 that was budgeted and approved in our budget for this type of expenses. So it's in the budget, and in terms of $1,500, and I think it's a very good idea in terms of helping the club and to offset some of your costs. Obviously, you got a lot more costs than that. And then
Yes,
the second portion, whether that be, of course, Bill Dice, in terms of the cost, I don't think it would be over $200, maybe at the most, possibly $75 to $100 per condo. So any discussions about that at all, in terms of Bruce?
Jason, what budget item out of their budget would this come out of?
That would come out of, let me see, it would come out of the media. Let me look at it.
You received the latest budget information this morning, Gordon? That
I
sent
have
you?
not, no, I've not.
Okay.
But, oh. Hang on, I've got the- There we go.
There's $1,500 set aside for meals, housing.
It's, yeah, $1,500 was set aside for a media visit to Sky Valley.
Okay,
And then there's another 1,000 that's in contingency. Miscellaneous.
Yes, yes, yes,
so it would come out of the media visit budget,
yes.
part of the budget, okay.
Do I hear a motion at all that to approve, a motion to approve those expenses?
I move that we go ahead and pay. I would like to make a motion that we pay Bill Theis's cleaning and $125 to the club to cover the 5 meals or part of the 5 meals.
Good. Is there a second?
Second,
I'll second it.
Any discussion?
Is there a total for the cleaning or is it just gonna be whatever it winds up being?
I'm gonna guess the normal cleaning is $75 to $100 in that range per typically cleaning cost. So I'm gonna say, maybe we could say no more than $100 per unit, $200,
How many units you talking about, Gordon?
2 units,
2, okay.
we'll have 2 condos.
So you're saying $200 for the cleaning fee and $125 for meals, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay,
Yeah, I think that's a small enough amount. I don't think anybody's gonna make a point about spending city money or anything like that.
well,
I
it's
think this
already,
is just right in line with what we're supposed to do.
it's
Yeah,
in the,
it's
it's in
already-
the marketing budget, yeah.
It's already in the marketing budget, yes.
Mhm.
Good. Okay, I guess we've had comments on that, and there's been a second.
Gordon, you have to take a vote, the vote wasn't taken
It's
yet.
all in favor, it's to say, in this case, all in favor, say aye.
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 Any negatives? Okay, it has been approved, thank you. So I guess going down the cost, Roberta, that takes care of that. Any other issues on that?
No, I don't think so, but I will say that I will get with Sharon about some things to go in the goodie bag. If there's things in the visitor center that would be good, I will get in touch with her and get up to the visitor center and meet her in person and talk about maybe some things to put in it. I know that Doug doesn't want them overloaded because there will be people flying and they don't need a bunch, stacks of materials and that to take with them, but there may be some things, and then we'll find some other things from the pro shop,
Great.
small items.
So do you plan to give that, I guess, at the evening, or what would be the best time to give the goodie bag? Goodie bag, I'd like to include some real estate information and so forth, and we've done that in the past.
Probably the best thing to do would be to give it to them maybe after golf, maybe, so they're not carrying something with them. I think we'll think about the timing
Okay,
and give it to them when it's convenient for them to store it and that, so.
okay, very good. Any other comments we should have in terms of the media visit? I think we've covered a lot of it, and I'll follow up with a change in the itinerary, time-wise and so forth. Any other comments? Very good. Thank you. It's very well. Good discussion. I guess next item on the report will be website report. Jason and Sharon.
I'm going to defer to Sharon since she's doing such a fantastic job on that. So Sharon, take it away.
Okay, we've posted several events on the website as well as added some waterfalls on the kiosk. We've had several posts about the merchandise that we're selling and lots of inquiries about that. We've posted upcoming holidays and saying, you know, stay in Sky Valley, you know, see all the sites around, but this is where we want you to stay, with the links to Airbnb and VRBO posted on those. Earth Day, Arbor Day, got lots of things coming and we want people to know about it. Also, I'm going to post, we're working on Food Truck Fridays in the summer. So I will post on both sites the events calendar so that we know which Fridays we're having it. I'm working for all, but it's kind of a struggle to get somebody up here every Friday. But on the events calendar, we would post which Fridays we're doing it along with which vendor, because we're only requesting one truck per Friday so that they can maximize their potential as well.
Any other comments on it? Very good. Go on to the Sky Valley Visitor Center update. Maybe tell us a little more what's happening in your schedule. I heard something about a day that grand opening.
Do you want me to talk about that, Sharon? Or do you want to talk about the grand opening?
We can both chime in, but I'll start by saying the 26th of May is the Friday before Memorial Weekend. That's our goal for our grand opening. We hope to have a parking lot striped, all the signs in place, everything in place so that people come in and see. We want to have a large cake, a ribbon cutting, ask the Clayton Tribune to be here, and Forward Raven. So we've got several things planned for that day. We do have a food truck coming on that afternoon. Well, from 11 to 2 will be serving time. And that's our goal for the visitor center welcome as well, would be around 11. So we will get in touch with the people involving the cake, like I said, the ribbon cutting, and the actual publicity will be out way before then.
Is there anything we can do?
What time y'all trying to start this?
Well, the actual ribbon cutting and things we're shooting for 11 o'clock.
Okay. Thank you.
Maybe we can have some little giveaway also for open house. Some sort of inexpensive Sky Valley merchandise.
We have
I don't know
lots for
whether-
sale too, so yeah, but yeah.
Yeah,
I'm just going to add to that. Sharon did touch on some of the things that I was going to touch on, which is great, fine. The signs, we have about half of them up. They are being handmade. There's a lot of hands-on with that. So, but Sharon is doing a great job staying on Chuck to make sure those get done. He knows he's got to get the rest of the signs done. He hand paints those. Obviously, a day like today, you can't restripe the parking lot. But we're getting the parking lot restriped, handicap, van accessible. Going to be adding about 2 more spaces to the parking lot. We're also restriping the what will be now the police station. So he just needs good weather to do that. That should be being done between now and then. Also, we're really pushing Truvista to get the guest Wi-Fi up for us. That's something that we really need. We do have Wi-Fi here, but obviously with we don't need to be letting the general public have our secured login, but we are Truvista is, they know they need to get this going. It should be a pretty simple thing. It's just getting on their schedule, but we do know how critical the guest Wi-Fi is. And then also, just on a side note, been having conversations with Georgia Power about trying to get some incentives to do an EV charging station up here. So don't know if that'll be in place by the 26th, but that is on our long range plans to get that done as well. And Sharon has done a fantastic job. We have a lot of great products that they're reasonably priced from a price point. They're selling well. And I do think that people are finding out about the visitor center. They're coming in. Where's the waterfall? Where's this? Where's that? I need to use the restroom. Am I going the right direction to Highlands? And with the Food Truck Friday, we're hoping to capture some of that. Some of that traffic. So a lot of things going on right now.
Do you think, Jason, do you think the landscaping will be completed at that point?
We hope
Or-
to. We've had, last time I spoke with Mark Wanamaker, which I
Yeah.
guess was about a week ago. He knows that
Good,
what needs to be done and so yes.
great.
Is there anything that the marketing committee can do at this time? And any help at that point? I know.
Just get the word out, continue everybody to get the word out about all the great things we're doing. We're obviously from a staffing standpoint, we can do the things to make it good, but it takes everyone to make it great. So that's what I want.
Gordon, maybe you can assign one of your committee members to work with Sharon, because we've talked about having visitor goodie bags when they come in. And so maybe somebody can work with Sharon from your committee and come up with some ideas of what needs to be in there besides information about maps and, stuff around in Rabun County and our real estate and golfing club and the, pickleball, all that. So that would be great if you could have somebody work with her.
Well, I will just add this, if it's okay, about the goodie bags. I know you want small things. When we did the Fall Fest, we did about 100 goodie bags. We were trying
Right.
to find something that was not really heavy, not too expensive.
Right.
We did the little small hand sanitizers, lip balm, little 1 ounce things of honey. We had Sky Valley. They were all marketing the Sky Valley stuff. And I think we even did gave out a sticker. They were $4 or $5 each, and there was hardly no weight to it, hardly any size. And
Yeah.
everybody wants hand sanitizer. Everybody wants lip chapstick. So just some ideas
Yeah.
as you're looking for small things that don't take a lot of space and not that expensive.
Or maybe a pen or a Sky Valley pen or something like that. Yeah, that'd be great.
Thank you, Jason. Excellent. Next item on the agenda would be the Forward Rabun Marketing Board meeting. Sharon? I know.
There was no meeting this month. We will be meeting next week for May.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Next item agenda was the North Georgia Vacation Guide in the Mountain Magazine. Again, Sharon has updated that and did an excellent job. We talked about it last meeting. Nice job, Sharon. I know you've been very busy. It looks very good. And that will be coming out in the spring summer edition. Is that correct?
Yes.
Very good. Hang on here. Next item on the agenda would be the, oops. Just got cut off.
The
Hello?
visitor map, I think, Gordon.
Yeah, I just got cut off on my Zoom here.
Okay.
Hang on. I have the screen. I lost the visual. I'll do it on, apparently you can hear me. Next item on the agenda would be the Spring Mountain Traveler Magazine, the Clayton Tribune. Sharon has updated the last year's half-age ad, and the fall distribution has got 30,000 copies going to be printed. The budget was for $595 per ad, and it was increased to $645. So I initially asked about the budget, and they couldn't give me a number. So it has gone up like $50, and the second ad will have to take funds from a miscellaneous account of $1,000. So at this time, we approved it. And at this point, Sharon has updated the ad. And again, it looks good. Any questions on that at all? I'm trying to get
I
back.
think you skipped the Blue Ridge
The map.
Mountains of Northeast Georgia.
Yes, well, that was gonna be coming in. I had that put in, the visit, I'm gonna talk about that too, and that was, hang on, I don't know how to get back onto Zoom.
It's probably behind everything. If you minimize,
We can see you, Gordon.
But you can see me and,
Mhm.
somehow I'm missing out of mine. Sorry. Okay, so going into the visitor map to the Blue Ridge Mountains area, let me launch meeting again. There we go. Thank you. Can you see me now? Very good.
Yes.
Next item on the agenda was a visitor map to the Blue Ridge Mountains of Northeast Georgia. This ad was run in 2021 and it's for 2 years. Essentially, last year, when I took over, we have 2 boxes of the ad, and I guess the question it is, this is the Blue Ridge Mountain, this is a map, and we had not put money into the budget, and currently the visitor map, single ad cost is $625. And the question I have to the committee is, how much are we using, I guess, maps nowadays versus
oh, Jim's getting delivered.
others?
He said that they told him it wasn't paid for.
I gave him the credit card, but if you,
I can give
Versus
him a
GPS?
card,
Can you,
okay.
but you didn't get a receipt or nothing.
can you hear me?
Yes.
So the question comes up that in this case Sharon sent out this, the Blue Ridge Mountain Northeast Georgia ad, and are we using it at this point here? We have 2 boxes of it. I gave to the city. I don't know, Jason, if you have it during the last fall. I gave 2 boxes of the old ad and the maps itself. And
We are using them.
We are using it.
Yes.
Is this something we want to run the ad? We did not budget it. It's not in the budget. Is it something that, in terms of printed maps versus GPS, open discussion about?
Well, the only thing is right now, so many people don't have service in the mountains
Okay,
because like me, I have AT&T and it only works at my house. Printed map is, I mean, at least, something they can pull up and kind of track where they're going. They want to see specific waterfalls or if they want to see specific, trails. So, I mean, that's a big push for that. It also, has Toccoa Falls and some different things, even in Helen. But there are benefits, I think, to having a paper map to hand people.
Are those
I guess-
given away?
Yes. And they're not just given away here, of course, they're given away everywhere. So that's a big
Right.
plus too, to have our ad. And like we had in the past, it was in the corner. So it was a nice presentation, of kind of us taking the edge. And it was, I know I'm backwards, but it's a good, at least we're up in the corner of the whole map and it looks really
Right.
nice. Now, that's up to, budgeting, if you can afford or to do that or not, or if you think it's worth it. But I do like the benefit of handing a paper map.
I like the idea of using a paper map because, on a little cell phone screen, it's sort of hard to find things. And the other thing I like about this is that it's targeted to people who are going to be coming into the area. So, if we can get some small fraction of those folks to come see Sky Valley for the first time, I think this is, great targeting.
Well, the
I-
ad we had before was 2 ads or a double ad, and it was right now the cost is $1,200.
Yeah, and in this case here, we had the ad was it $625? Yes. I think the 2021 edition, did we have 1 or 2 ads? I think we had 1 ad.
Well, it was 1, but it was a double ad so that,
Ah.
let me see below here where Dillard House and the others have just 1 ad. They're like business card size. Ours is twice that size.
Okay, and the
Doesn't have
cost,
to be, but
so the cost of doing that would be,
$1,200 for the year.
I would say, just in case we do not have, if we went with a single ad, just for to pay for it, again, it has not been budgeted. So in the ad cost, and the only place that we could look, we could find some funding for it would be under miscellaneous. If you look under a miscellaneous in our budget, we have $1,000. So in this case here, miscellaneous, it could cover the 625 if we wish to do that. I think the key question I had, if we're using it, for the handout, and people are again using the printed maps, if they are using it, then I wouldn't have an issue with it.
Yeah, I
Well,
would just,
It
I would
is
go ahead.
as much, I'm sorry, go ahead, Paul.
yeah, I would just say, when Sharon, you sent that around, I think the placement is perfect on that map.
I'm
And
sorry, Paul, what was that?
placement of the ad is well placed. It's perfect for that kind of ad. So I think you can get some, what's the circulation going to be again?
Well, circulation, I've looked at it, was they're going to print out 220,000 units. They call it 220,000 units. And this will be over a 2-year period. And they said they distribute it over a lot of visitor centers and this distribution in a lot of different areas.
All of the state of Georgia, welcome centers and city welcome centers throughout Georgia,
Yes,
state parks, chambers of commerce, different things.
Well, it's not just a road map. It's more a site map, locations of places to go. So you can look at all of them. You can lay a map out and you can say, okay, I'm gonna do 3 days and I can do this one. I mean, you're still gonna need your GPS and your map to, for the details of how to get there, because it's, the map's very big, but I think that is something that visitors use, because I always stop and ask, what are the local places to see and that, and usually you get a map and it kind of lays out a route for you to go to see those. So, and it has a large distributorship. So I don't know, but it's a lot of money. So.
yeah, I don't, again, at this point, the single ad, if we're going to go with the ad, how could we update that ad? Changes on it at all, Sharon, if you looked at it?
Oh yeah, I would change it. I mean, probably just to make it a little more modern looking.
Got it. So I guess as I hear, the consensus is here, you like the idea of a printed map with our ad on it, and people are using it. And the issue is at this point, cost. We have revenues in it. We could have a single ad, which I think would be okay. But most important thing is that you got Sky Valley on the map, and they could refer to it. So in terms of, is there issue in terms of paying for it? We have a miscellaneous, we have $1,000 in the budget. So it would come out of that $1,000. In this case, Jason, any comments on that at all? Shouldn't be any issue doing that. Jason? If we
No, I
do
mean,
this,
right now, I know you're gonna be talking about the budget after this, but yeah, there is $1,000 in miscellaneous contingency. It's obviously that's something that it can be used for. We could if we need to, we can move some of that money or all of that money to the advertising line item. So that should not be a problem if that's the direction that the committee wants to go.
Well,
Yes.
what does the text say in the ad?
It's our basic information. It says Sky Valley, Georgia, Georgia's highest and coolest city, mountain vistas, temperate climate, public championship golf, swimming, hiking, waterfalls, pickleball court, vacation rentals. Come and
Yeah,
visit or
that's-
come and stay. And then the website.
That's good.
It is good, but this is a double, so we would just shrink it.
Yeah, well, it says it all, and especially with the golf and.
Yeah, that's everything that's pretty much on all of our flyers and information. But this, like I said, this is the double, so of course it would be a single size ad.
Well, Paul, Roberta, I'm glad you commented. And I think at this point, it might be appropriate to make a motion that we go ahead and do this for the $625.
Yes.
do I hear a motion? Very good, Jim. Is there a motion? Go ahead. Is there a second on Jim's?
I second.
I second. Any discussion? Vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any negatives? Motion approved. Very good, thank you. So I guess
Can-
Sharon, at this stage, you have there's a timing issue and I guess you get on it. So at this point, it's approval to go ahead and update the ad. I think wasn't there a timing they had time-wise it had to be done by? Great,
Yes,
Great.
yes.
very good, thank
So
you.
We're moving, is it 625 or the whole 1,000 we're moving to advertising?
6:25.
Okay, so that was, okay, all right.
Okay. Okay, very good. Thank you. Sky Valley marketing budget. I guess at this point, instead of going to the numbers, I think we're in pretty good shape. The only question I have from the POA, have we heard at all from the additional $2,500? Have we received that at all? Or maybe someone could update us on that?
Yeah, I can, Gordon. Right now, as you may recall, for the fiscal year 23, the budget approved was $19,000, and I'll just kind of let you know where we're at now. $9,000 was earmarked for Golf Life. We've spent 3,000, 6,000 left. On the advertising side, One Mountain Lakes was 485. There was 2690 put in for advertising. There's $2,205 left. Professional services, Steve, was $1,250. You spent $111 for the other hard drive. That leaves $1,139. Under general supplies and materials, there's still $1,960 there. Under the promotions, there was $3,100 set aside for everything from Fall Fest to the golf tournaments, meals, housing. You just approved 325 of that for the meals and the cleaning. So that would come off that $3,100. And then you move 625 from the contingency to the advertising. That leaves $15,404 remaining in the budget. If you take out the 325 for cleaning, it'd be 15,079. The other 2,500 from the POA has not yet been received. As of today, there's about a little over $16,000 in the checking account. However, not all of that is part of the budget. So you are correct. As we are basically now one quarter of the way into the year, there's still over $15,000 of the $19,000.
Seem to be managing well. Great, thank you. I guess, Bruce, could you follow up with the POA again, just see time-wise when we might expect the additional $2,500?
Well, we can do that. We get our money from our memberships to the POA. And so we don't have all this money in right now. It is coming in, and that was one of the reasons we do have it in that budget. And that was one of the reasons we asked you if we could split it. However, I'll go back and I'll mention it to them again.
Okay.
We know that we have committed $2,500 additional, so that gives us a total of $5,000. So they're very well aware of it.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, just as a reminder, that's great. I think we're in fine shape in terms of the budget, but and we do, since we certainly need the additional 2,500, by the end of the year. Good. Okay, any other comments about the budget? Let's go back to the Steve Denver photos of shoot. Any other comments? We were talking about anniversary gala having on June the 10th. Is there any other items we want Steve to shoot at this point? Discussions that are coming up. Right now, we have the one we're looking at, of course, of the anniversary gala, June the 10th. If there's something else come up, please let me know. Let's go photograph of Steve Denver photos, videos. Maybe you could update us up to Sharon in terms of what is happening on that in terms of uploading them. And I know there's some issue about the hard drive. Could you update
Yes,
us on
I'm
that?
gonna mail it back to him today. He thinks it could have been that I wiped it out when I tried to plug it into my computer, which very well could have happened. So I am going to mail that back to him today, and he says he will reload it and send it back. We're still organizing the photos. We plan to have our intern work on that some as well, especially with the new external drive that he's going to send. But everything's looking very nice. I'm using some of the photos in the ads and different posts that I'm putting out about Sky Valley. And that's exactly what we wanted them for. So yeah, they'll be available and they're should be coming, I hope, within next week.
Very good. Thank you. Any question, comments on that, committee? Okay, other business. Is there any other business at all?
Gordon,
Gordon, is the next meeting. Go ahead.
Let me make one thing. I had a meeting with George Powell, who owns a zip line, whatever they call it, the Highlands aerial zip line. And he's very active, I know, over in Highlands with their chamber and things. And he mentioned about, and I don't know if he's had any interaction with our three-way marketing, but Gordon, I think it'd be a good idea, and you and I can talk offline, for you to make a call with him, just talk with him. He, maybe was a little frustrated, because he's, he believes in the area and everything and that type thing, but probably doesn't know what Sky Valley, the three-way marketing does and that type thing. The club will be doing stuff with him, and I think we had a great meeting as far as that. And but maybe I can give you his contact information. I'd be glad to, meet with him too again or whatever. But I think it'd be good just for you as the chair, just to let him know what's going on and what we're doing and that type thing, and just have he'll be a good contact for us.
Fine. Send it to me then, and it would be fine, Howard. Yes.
Okay.
More than happy to meet with him. Yes. He works with a plateau, doesn't he? Plateau. I've read that in the past. Somehow he works with emphasizing the plateau.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Very interested in us being on that plateau.
Yes. Yes. Okay, great. Yes. More than happy to meet with him, Howard.
Okay.
Okay. Any other business? The other would be the next meeting. I wanted to find out if we could have an in-person meeting at our next meeting on May the 25th. How would that work out if at this point here, we had a meeting at the visitor center? Will everyone, first of all, we want to make sure everyone could attend. A committee, is that something we could work out, having our next meeting at the visitor center? And at this point, Jason, could we at this point accommodate having a meeting there?
Oh, absolutely. We've already had a council meeting. Yeah, so I mean, we're still working out some of the technology bugs, but yeah, absolutely.
That'd be
We're set up for that.
May the 25th.
Yeah.
Great.
Well,
Committee.
Bruce and I will still be in Israel
That's
at
right.
that point. We'll get back on the 27th. So maybe it's just, life's tough, but
Would we have a quorum without you two?
good question.
Well, we could change the meeting. There's nothing, having one meeting take versus another. I'm open. Let me see, we go too much.
Well,
into-
it would just be Bruce, because Paul can take his place in his stead, can he? So it'd just be losing one person.
How about Jim? Jim, are you out of town too?
Now, well, Bruce will be out of town, but he's representing the POA, and Paul can represent the POA.
Okay,
And so it would be just losing one person. So would we have a quorum if we didn't have one person? If we
Yeah,
had one
Holly
person-
can represent the city.
Yeah, we need the city representative.
so at this point, Jim, you will be back when?
Yeah, the 27th. We get into town jet lagged. Well, that's the 27th is a Friday, is a Saturday anyway.
Yeah. if you get someone to represent Holly, we don't know at this point if Holly could be available.
We
So
can ask her, she had to sign off. We actually have a meeting here in about 15 minutes.
Okay,
That's gonna be in person, so she had to sign off too. So she could drive here, but there are 5 members in the chair. Bruce, Paul, Harry, Roberta, Jim. So if Harry, Roberta, and Paul were here on that meeting, we would have a quorum on the 25th.
great, great. So
I have
let's,
to get with, I have to get with Harry to make sure, to see if he will be able to attend.
Cool.
okay,
Okay,
Great.
well, it looks like you can do it without us.
We will certainly tentatively go ahead and just move forward for the 25th unless we're told something different.
unless we cannot, and then we'll have to
Okay.
change. Great,
And Jason, that's the day before your grand opening.
It is.
You're still comfortable with having a meeting there? Just,
Yeah,
you
oh,
know,
yes. I mean, we'll actually have our council meeting, I believe that week too. So,
okay,
well, actually the 16th. So, I mean, that should work. I mean, we'll,
okay,
yeah, we can certainly accommodate that.
okay.
Well,
I will get in touch with Harry to see whether or not he will definitely be able to attend that meeting, and I will let
Right.
you know if he can't. And then we may have to do something different. I'll let you and Gordon know.
as an option, the following June the 1st, it could delay it a week if we had to. How does that look? If something come up, looking at the schedule of June the 1st, which would be a Thursday. As an alternative. Looking at that schedule. Jason, anything that would prevent us from having a meeting at the,
No, I'm looking right now. I mean, that far out, there's nothing. I don't have anything on my calendar that would conflict, and there shouldn't be any city business beyond just
Yeah.
routine day-to-day stuff that we have.
So do we
Yeah,
want to just
anyway.
make it June 1st?
I was gonna say, why don't you just make it June 1st, and
yes,
Okay,
that's,
let me
yes,
do that.
we
Um,
know, we know Jim will be back.
yes.
Well,
Doug?
actually, I'm going to be leaving town again June 1st. But I think we've established you can do this without me.
Well, we want everyone involved. Did you have another date that would, again,
May 30th would be a Tuesday after Memorial Day.
What's that? Just to me.
Let's see.
We could still Zoom for those who couldn't attend physically.
30th would be tough from a staff standpoint. That's
Okay, well, go ahead and do it.
That's a payroll day, and there's a lot of moving
Okay.
parts to that. I gotta make sure my guys.
I
get paid.
understand.
so what do you want to do? You want to make it the 1st or can stay with the,
Well, if somebody can Zoom on the 25th, I mean, we can certainly have it in person, and if they can't make it, we'll have the owl set up. They could represent via Zoom. We've had that before on council meetings and other meetings too. So that is an
Doug,
option.
can you attend? Doug, can you, I know you wanted to be a part, can you be part of this meeting on the 25th?
Yeah, well, the 25th, if we do the 25th, now granted, we got to do anything for me. I could just, because I'd like to come see the grand
Yes, I
opening.
know
I
you
could
do.
spend the night up there somewhere and just do the meeting on Thursday and then do the grand opening on Friday. So, but I don't care. I can come back on the 1st. It's all right.
So I'm open. So let's, I guess, make a decision. What, do we want to stick with the 25th at this point?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess.
Okay, so the 25th is it. Okay, great. All right, that will take care of that. I guess, any other questions? I guess at this point, do I hear a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Second?
Second,
Second.
So all in favor, say aye.
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 Very good. Again, thank you, committee. A long meeting again. Lots got accomplished. Yes.
Thank y'all.
Thank
for
Thank
every-
you.
Thank
Thank
y'all
you,
for
Gordon.
everything. Appreciate,
you.
look forward to next month.
Thanks.
Thank you.